I know you, I can feel you with the green of soul. It's more than empty dreams and promises. It's not infecting me no more. When all I say to you is dead and gone, you won't be feeling me no more. I know you, I can feel you with the green of souls. When you're not looking at me, I feel so slow. When all strings of all our memories, it hurts not being alone at one. And thoughts of you just bring me down inside. I take it with the green of souls. I know you, I can feel you with the green of souls. When you're not looking at me, I feel so slow. Get your hands up. It's more than empty dreams and promises. It's not infecting me no more. We're all streams of all our memories. I take it with the green of souls. I know you, I can feel you with the green of souls. When you're not looking at me, I feel so slow.
Rising up, take a trip to the other side. Broken world from your eyes, close and lock 'em tight. Feet alive with the breath threatened to ignite. Spark a fire on the inside. Rise above, fly a jetpack to keep 'em down. Images of a thorn and a golden crown. Deadlock on the door, tell the mind itself. Set it off on the inside. We fall from a badly written rhyme, and the world knows contagious reaction in everybody's eyes. Sedation, attraction brings knowledge to demise. Swollen time, hold a candle into the light. Breaking sound with an amp from another life. This is the last straw, last glance, last breath. Blow it up on the inside. Rise above, fly a jetpack to keep 'em down. Images of a thorn and a golden crown. Deadlock on the door, tell the mind itself. Set it off on the inside. Contagious reaction in everybody's eyes. Sedation, attraction brings knowledge to demise. We fall from a badly written rhyme, and the world knows I will break you too. I walk slowly through your trap, falling out of time, out of love and out of my mind. I will be lonely, I will settle for the test, letting every day eat away my truth, my demand. Charging through wall, never to attack, being on the defense, taking a back, yelling for everyone, just not too loud, ready for a bad for breaking us down. Now I want it all. Stars are forcefully aligned. Now to shine myself, guide my way from me and the ones. I will find myself. Over you I spill my guts. Maybe we can jump the county line and out of my home. Charging through wall, never to attack. Being on the defense, taking a back, yelling for everyone, just not too loud, ready for a breath for breaking us down. Charging through the wall, never to attack. Being on the defense, taking a back, yelling for everyone, just not too loud, ready for a breath for breaking us down.
All right. Back at it one more time. What's going down, you guys? Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification. Like the video for the content. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today in the listening room. My name is Eddie Booze. Another week getting it in. All right, you guys. So today, oh, you know what? I'm a little echoey. There we go. Much better. All right. So today, my guest is none other than a favorite here on the listening room, Mr. Ari Pay. How you doing, my brother?
Good, brother. How are you?
Cool. Good, man.
Again,
Good,
back
dude.
again.
All right, well, let's start the show off like I like to start the day. A little bit of gratitude, my man. Why don't you give me something you're grateful for?
Oh, gratitude. Monday, people are always against Mondays.
Yeah.
I look at Mondays as this grind. Let's get it going. You know, it's start the week off strong and hard. It's so hard to motivate yourself to get prepped Sunday night for a Monday. But if you're good and you're ready on Monday, then your whole week usually tends to go smooth.
I feel you. I had like a weekend of kind of sitting around like not doing much. And I felt like, and I like, got mad at myself.
Yeah.
So like this morning I like woke up and like just hit the ground running and just like got like, I mean, I so much stuff done today. I was just I was just like woke up with that like anger at myself. Like, what'd you do yesterday? You just slept. You just napped.
Yeah.
You took your dog. You took Daisy for a couple walks. Well, that was super fun. I spent time with my gear. But it was like, you know, I feel you though. You get that like, you know.
Another Monday is here.
Another Monday is here. You know, you can either love it or you can either, you know, get with it and kind of appreciate it for what it is, and another chance to get rocking and get that drive under you. You know.
Yep.
I like that, dude. I like that, bro. So good to see everybody in the house. Everybody. Oh, greetings from Poland. Nice, Shiro.
Poland's in the house.
Nice, Bender. I believe Bender's in Canada also. So we got Canada and we got Poland in the house. And good to see all you guys, man. So, okay, so today I am grateful for I was thinking about this weekend actually, and I'm always like so grateful for like the positive things in my life, you know. And I remember saying last week that I was grateful for challenges, but I'm grateful for the ability to face challenges. You know, the ability to face, you know, the things that come at me, you know, and you know that make you feel like, dude, like, this is raw, you know, because last week was a rough one, and it was like I don't know, man. It was just kind of like emotionally hard, and I had just kind of getting my feet under me again, and kind of getting my Monday self back.
Yeah.
You know, after having something like that was a little rough. So.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for the ability to kind of like shift back into the positive and shift back into, you know what, let's just do the things that I know I got to get done. And then that changes the way I feel.
Yep.
That changes the biochemistry, totally makes me feel, you know, a lot better in general.
Yep.
But yeah, D's Nut says, I did a 5-minute meditation on gratitude on the beach in Oxnard this morning. That's
nice.
legit, dude.
How's the water temp in Oxnard right now?
Yeah, how is the water temp in Oxnard right now? By the way, were you out there surfing? But dude, that's what I'm talking about. Gratitude, man. So I always like to say in the show, it's key and paramount importance to be active in your own mental and emotional health. You know, and I find the best way to do that is to just acknowledge the things you're grateful for. Talk about them, write them down, all that good stuff. Write them down here in the comment section. Talk about them with your friends. Write them in a book. I have a couple books that I have like tons of, you know, gratitudes written in there and everything. But yeah, so
Yeah.
So anyway, so Ari, so you've been doing a lot this last week. You introduced me to an upcoming guest named Sarah Miller, who's going to be on the show this Thursday as well. And you've been doing some stuff for your own businesses as well.
Yeah, definitely. Just trying to adjust with the times. You know, like
I feel you.
You know, things are not. They're not normal. It's different. And what I've learned as an entrepreneur, if you don't adjust, you're just going to get left behind. You can sit and cry all day long in the corner. That's not going to get you anywhere. You got to figure it out, move, execute, and activate. And if you don't do that and you figure that part out, then everything's good. So the business is good. You know, we're doing a lot. We got a lot of moving parts. You know, it seems like the basics part of my business is coming back, the t-shirts part, but we're doing a lot of masks. We're doing a lot of creative content of developing new products and testing. So
that's super cool. So you usually were printing shirts and hats and things like that, and then you kind of moved into printing masks.
Yeah.
How does that work exactly?
So, well, it's either you.
I wonder that when you told me, I'm like, so what are you like printing paper masks?
No,
like, how does it work?
A lot of cloth masks. You know.
Okay.
Just think of like a 2-ply T-shirt, like a 60/40 blend. It's not the KN95s. It's not the PPEs. It's more like a T-shirt material, and we're chasing like big business. We're not. We're chasing. It's more like, let's call it private labeling. So we'll approach a company and say, hey, you know, instead of you printing your like usually I get T-shirts, but no one's moving around. So now everyone's like, hey, I need masks. So can I get a branded mask with my logo on there? I'm like, yeah, all day long. So
Starbucks, boom, right on this mask. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
whatever. Wahoo,
yeah,
whatever. Like school districts, cities. So.
Super cool.
So it's a grind.
And that's a way to shift into it. That's a way to shift into staying working. I dig that.
But the whole process of taking your system and changing it from T-shirt setup to mass is a whole different ballgame. So I had to go into development of clamps and hold downs and testing what's going to work, because it's easy to print 1 or 2 masks. But when someone says, I want 2,000, 3,000, 4,000,
yeah, exactly.
The onesie twosie way is not going to work. So you got to start thinking production, like what's going to work, like so in a couple of days, we were able to develop clamps. Before they went retail, we developed these clamps without just fabbing with a welder. You know,
bro, you should be copywriting that. You should be copywriting that stuff, bro.
And just clamping things down, and we figured it out to where we can run production, be efficient, not get overspent on like things that, because at first I didn't know how long the mass business was going to be around.
Right.
And everybody with these big CNC machines started coming out with these awesome automated clamps for like $600, and you need like 4 of them. And I'm like, okay, cool. Do I need to spend that money? Then I developed it for, you know, $30-$40 with a couple of buddies of mine, and then reached out to a motorcycle buddy of mine. He helped me weld it and kind of get it in place. So we kind of did a kind of Jimmy rig, but it worked. So now I didn't have to spend the crazy money, but mass business is around. So now do I spend on those high quality clamps? I don't know, but right now what we're doing right now is working. So maybe I come up with my own mass clamp pallet business, you know. But
I mean, why not? I mean, well, here's the thing. Like, okay, so I ride this thing called a one wheel. You've seen it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the skateboard with one wheel in the
Oh, yeah.
middle. So when they were developing that thing, they had to develop new technology
Yeah.
that went into that wheel.
Yeah.
That went into like they took like the battery cells from like an electric car, you know, and sensors, you know, and everything else. But like some of the things they put inside that wheel
Yeah.
were made for that thing. Just like you made these clamps just for this thing. Like you fabricated these clamps. You should take that design and put a patent on that thing, bro, and then see if you can get it out there. Because a lot of people are probably are having that same issue of like, hey, how the hell are we going to print, you know, a massive amounts of masks? Well, this could help, you know, this could help smaller, you know, printers that don't have access to like, you know, giant, manufacturing facilities and factory lines, and an opportunity to compete.
Yeah.
Get out there and stay working.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But allowed us to keep up. So now we're busy, you know, we're moving the tides, and it seems like the t-shirt printing business is coming back. So we're gonna ride it. We're gonna grind. We're gonna, you know, nothing's handed. You know that.
Yep.
You got to keep grinding for
That's
it.
right.
So we just got to keep pushing and go from there. You know.
Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. D's Nut says it's cold as hell in Oxnard in the water right now, and he said he did try surfing for the first time actually.
Oh man.
And he also says, hell yeah, Ari, like we said in the Marines, adapt and overcome. Hey, thanks for your service, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you for the service.
Absolutely, man. So, dude, I want to talk to you a little bit about balance today. Like, it's just something that I've been wanting to talk to you about as far as business goes, because I have an issue with this. Like, I have an issue with this specific thing, and I tend to do every time I have an event. One of my businesses, the nonprofit, is fairly events based when we're doing fundraising and events for the community. So what I tend to do is I tend to put so much effort into the development of said event or whatever it may be that I often fall short of marketing myself. How best, you know, because, you know, looking from from an outside perspective in how, I mean, you know, and with the, you know, marketing specialty that you have, how best can we find that balance, you know, especially for someone like myself who's a small business owner kind of doing it by himself? How do we best find that balance of, okay, so are we going to put together a quality event? How can we both put together a quality event and at the same time market it well and make sure that we hit our target, you know, amount of people?
So that's a pretty heavy question, because unless you've done that event before with a large scale operation and team, then you'll know where to cherry pick to do it. But it seems like, I think from your perspective, I think you need to start looking at people that have the same ideals and values of you in this event to help bring something to the table. So one of the misconceptions is I'm going to have a company, or I'm going to have an event, I'm going to bring my buddies on. It's like, but what specialty does your buddies have? You don't know, but some of them might be good in operations, some might be good in logistics, some might be good in marketing. So what I would recommend is more of like on that picture, because it's hard to run everything by yourself and make sure that you don't miss anything unless you're that type of critical thinker. And I'll be honest, I'm not perfect. I screw up all the time, but I
we all
always
do.
put people around me that can help me figure it out. And it's hard, because as a leader, you know, for whatever reason, when someone's giving you an opinion, sometimes you don't like it, but you have to humbleize yourself. Is that a word, humbleize? Humble. You just gotta take it in. It's like, okay, maybe they're right, even though it's my idea. Maybe they're right for the betterment of this event, and let me listen to it. So I think a lot of people have a hard time with getting over that hill. But once you get over that hill and open your mind and understand that this whole team is with this, I think when you delegate, it's a lot easier. Because one of the things that I learned, when people are on the same page, when you bounce ideas off, it's ultra productive. But when people are not on the same page, you start bouncing ideas, it's just clashing and goes nowhere. Because when you're in a room of people that like to activate, that like to get things done and don't bull crap around, like, it'll get done. They'll say, I want that piece, I'll take care of that, I'll meet with that person, and then boom, next 2 days later, then you have meetings and everything is green light go. So for you, I would just probably look at some other people around you that bring something different. You'd still be the chief, or the leader, but you just want to make sure that they understand the overall scope and let them bring what they have to the table. And it's hard. It's like when you own a brand, you want it to go a certain way, then someone brings something to the table and it tends to not go that way. Sometimes it's good when you guys clash because you guys can have constructive criticism
for sure.
and making sure that the direction you're going is the right way. If you guys agree the whole time, what if you made a right turn, the brand made a right turn, or the event made a right turn and just kept tanking?
Right.
By the time you realized it, you were so far tanked, it's like it's gone. But sometimes when you have those, back in the industry, we call them war rooms. You go in this room, you hash it out with like product, marketing, and sales. Everybody thinks they're right. But in the end, when you leave that door, we leave this door, we're all facing in the same direction. I might not like your idea. It sucks. It's not what I'm about. But you know what? The fact that we're a team, I agree and I'll support it. And I'll bring myself to the table for that, even though it's not my idea. But again, a team. It's all about the team and the group.
So a couple of things. Like number one, on the back end of what you were just saying, totally agree with you about being able to have some discourse and have a difference of ideas. I find a lot of the times that when you allow yourself to get into those discussions and get into maybe it's uncomfortable because you want to do something the way you want to do it or whatever. But I feel that when you get into those discussions, what happens is when you allow the ideas to come to permeate what happens is you say, okay, well, let's try this, and let's try this, and let's try this, and let's try let's try these ideas, and then you find that, wait, that's actually a really good idea. Like, let's do like let's put a little bit of this idea and a little bit of that together, and let's do this, and then you start realizing, like, oh, now we have something real, like something legit, like something like that we can like form around, and whereas before, like you said, if everyone's a yes man, or if it's just going off of the idea you had, then you're kind of just then you could be potentially undercutting yourself from a great idea that someone else had that might not have been yours. So I totally agree with the war room, ideology of like getting in there and just kind of listening to different opinions, and applying them, and really applying them and see where it works. I find that works in bands all the time. There's been countless times where a band member's gone, let's try this, and I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm like, that's not gonna work, and we try it, and then it's like, you know what? When we were doing it, it was like, okay, that is good, but I hear something different, and like, we'll like make a little bit of a change towards the end of something, and then we have something legit that we all love, and there's some ownership too, and everybody feels like they're really adding to the equation and the situation, and feels like they're putting in, and it feels like they have some ownership to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I totally agree with that. Now I have a question.
Yep.
So what you talked about before, as far as like getting people, and bringing people into some of these events like that, like, okay, so totally agree with that idea. I've done it with film and music, and it's a lot easier to do it sometimes when you're doing an artistic endeavor. But sometimes when you're doing a business endeavor, it's hard to get people to come to the table, when you don't necessarily have a contract right at the moment, when you don't necessarily have some sort of monetary, thing for them to give back. So sometimes it's hard for you to ask. You don't necessarily want to ask your friends or people that you're, colleagues with, to go and, volunteer their time. I mean, you may put it on the table and say, hey, I'm looking for a couple of people to help me, like, you put together a little committee and help me like put this event together. I mean, that could probably work, but how best would you say to like to get those people to help, or to put together a team,
Well, I mean, another one. You find people with the same kind of
same goals,
and they see it generally the same way you do, and they know what the end game is. I guess, like for me, so okay, I had a print business and I ran it like when I first launched it and went full time in my entrepreneur print business. I was technically a sales rep for myself. I was a printer, I was a designer, I was cutting the film, I was making film, I was screen printing. Then I'd go and like meet everybody at like Starbucks or have these meetings, and it was cool. And then after a while, I'm like, dude, man, I'm tired of going to Starbucks. I'm tired of eating out, man. I'm eating out like every day, twice a day. It's like, no, I'm over it. So that's when I opened up LabWorks, the actual brick and mortar, but what I realized is I didn't want to just open like a print shop within a door. I wanted to open a creative community space. So obviously, like when you go in my shop, everything's built on wheels because we can move everything and put it in the back room so we can host events. And what I started doing was hosting events within the community and started reaching out to friends, because what I realized was it was a lot of work. I mean, call me lazy or what, or trying to think outside of the box. Was me driving to visit 4 people to chase business was cool. But what if a friend of mine can have an event, and then they can bring 50 people to the event, and then now I can sell the business at the event. So people might call it a party of like a music event or art show or a fundraiser. It's work. Like, you get 50 people in your building, in your shop, it's work. You got to hustle. You got to make connections. You got to introduce who you are and what you do. I print a t-shirt, I do this, we do this. It's one of those things where I looked at it from the aspect of, instead of me going out and chasing everybody, I brought them to me. But the catalyst was having friends use my space to help bring people to my facility, or to my shop, or my creative space. Let's call it the creative space. Does that make sense?
It does.
So in the end,
as you're saying that, like, my mind is starting to go, okay, like, how can I apply that?
So in the end,
I like what you're saying.
It was more of like the people that were coming to the shop either were parents, they were like coaches, or they had some type of business, they needed printing for. So printing's pretty broad across the table. So everybody needs t-shirts at one point in time. T-shirts are like never going away. But like in your sector, music, I think if you and I sit and really dissect it and figure out like
music and education, because it's like the events we're putting together were like music clinics for kids. We're putting together concert series, things like that, and then also as well programs for the kids as well.
I think if we just get to the granular level of what in the end needs to happen for you to monetize this, to keep going at it, we just have to break it down is what we have to do. We have to think it, we have to put it through, and let's put a team together, like outside of like your crew. I'll come and help.
Sure.
And just kind of brainstorm and like.
I appreciate that.
And like what you do, like what I do normally is I write it. We write. It's like we call it treasure mapping. Like when you fundraise, like okay, it starts here, but you want to end here. Like I do music, we educate, and my end game is to get paid by the school district and get jobs by these 4 school districts or these nonprofits. Okay, what are the 10 things that happen that need in between? Okay, we got to go to this networking event because we know that the superintendent's going to be there, and then start bridging that. Now we got to go to these music conventions because we know the school,
Sure.
So we find out and we fill in between. But then again, like once we lay the map out or the roadmap, it's not perfect, but at the same time,
it gives us
you have to act.
Sure.
You have to hold yourself accountable to happen. Like for me, hosting an event, we just did a really good friend of mine went to high school with. Jen from Mama Osa. I'd love to have her on the show, man. She's rad. She's taken this idea and this concept and exploded it. She's awesome. So
what is it she does?
She does. So in the end, what she wanted to do was she wanted to spend more time with her kids. She was working the grind in the fashion industry, and you know that, man. It's just grind. It's like, okay. So I told her, hey, you need to balance. Your side hustle has to equal your regular hustle. Then from there, you decide. But blessed enough, something happened under her regular hustle, her regular job, and then it was full-blown this, and it would spend nonstop, go, and she's closing huge accounts, dude, in such a short period of time, and really adjusting her business model, and I'll let you share it with you, her business model to play up to, like, let's just call it like this pandemic that we're in, and it's working, and she's crushing it right now. But again, so we would have these art shows at my shop. We'd bring families, we'd bring teachers, we'd bring parents. Everybody's like tie-dyeing shirts, blah blah blah, and then she's giving for every shirt you buy, or she's gonna give away to a kid, and like there's a feel good, and then just crushed it. Now it's like through the roof. This is all within the last 6 or 7 months.
Sure.
I'm like, man. So for you, like, I'd love to sit down with you and help you build a roadmap with your team.
Well, sure. No, not necessarily just for me too. No, I'm just asking because just in general, kind of, I'm more of generalized. Trying to find more. I'm trying to find some more of the balance. I find that that's something that I've, had, that I haven't, done as well in the past is find the balance between specific things in the business, because when you're one person, you're giving all to one part, and then you're trying to give, you're what you call context switching. You can't do everything at once, so you have to do each thing, and then you have to switch back to the other thing, and then switch back to the other thing, and it's like, and like finding, we are a nonprofit organization, so like I'm like taking mental notes here, like finding the team, finding the team that's got, the same, that's the same goals and the same passions as myself, and the mission and the vision of the nonprofit organization, such as the people we work with already, like Kyle Romero, who you've met here at one of the fundraisers in Sebukwe, Ramsey, who was one of the executive one of the directors of our program, or Kevin Cablo, the music director. Like, we have a lot of amazing people involved with the program. It's just like I was saying earlier, sometimes in those particular events, when it gets when I find me not wanting to necessarily reach out to I feel like I'm more bugging people, or like not bugging them, but I feel like I'm putting them out because I don't necessarily have monetary compensation to give them. But I think you're right. I think what you said is very important. These people all have a common outlook and a common goal of what we're trying to do here, and what we're trying to grow and develop. So for me, I think it's my perception really that needed to change as far as that goes. And I think you're absolutely right about that. I think a lot of these events, I tried to do everything myself. I tried to do way too much myself. I'm not Superman. I can't do everything. I can't hold that weight on my shoulders. You know what I mean? And like, I would also say, guys out there, is that as well, to take heed of this. Find the people that are around that want to help build this idea, and go. And two, like, I'll say too, it's really difficult you have to put this into perspective as a business owner. When you're a business owner, your dream has to be big enough for everyone else who's going to work in your business, for their dreams to fit inside yours. Think about that. Your dream has to be big enough for everyone else's dream to fit inside yours who's going to work with you. You feel me? They're going to have to believe in you and know that, okay, cool, I'm with this, and really give it their all, So so go after it. You have that dream, you have that company. I mean, there's been years where I didn't have contracts, and I've come back to, should I really keep this going? But yes, I've kept it going because I want to bring these programs to the kids. I feel it's very unique, and to be honest with you, Ari, I would love to sit with you and go over some of this stuff, build some stuff out, put together a map, like you said. I'm really like I said, I'm really interested in what you said here, as far as the people goes, the mapping goes, and kind of the build out and development of what we have to offer specifically as a nonprofit organization to bring community programming. So I actually appreciate that more than and I've been taking notes.
And it might not be like, let's say the end game is to get to this level, and it's sometimes based on what's happening in the organization, it might shift.
Right. Well, my end game right now is to serve as many kids as humanly possible, because here's what's going to happen. The monetary that comes with providing the value. Like, I just want to provide value. Like, I just want to get as many kids this program as possible. I mean, even if we have to volunteer it as much as possible, just so people can see what it is. That's my end game. My end game is to get as many kids as humanly possible our program, and the money will come. With that, the money will come because of the structure of the organization. But that's my goal. So we're clear.
You already have the team. You just need an outside person to kind of help guide and lay the map out for you guys, because sometimes if you bring the team together and you're laying out the map, sometimes it kind of leans one way and someone doesn't want to say anything, but maybe you just need an outside, like a third party, the person to come in and I can
consultant.
Consultant to come in and just help you lay the roadmap out, because it allows you guys to be all on the same playing field, but then sometimes the input will be given and the outcome could be different too,
Yeah, dude, I can't tell you what that would what that would do for us, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Seriously,
Man.
it's like it's very much like when you're subjected to a problem, it's hard to see the answer. But when when you talk about it with someone who's outside the situation, and they say, "Well, why don't you?"
Yeah.
Obviously, this is the answer, and you're just like, "Well." You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I mean, yeah. And so I would I think that would be very beneficial for us as an organization to sit down with you.
Absolutely.
And, take a little bit of, a little direction.
Doesn't take much. I'm not here to control anything.
No, man.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, dude.
Kind of just get what you guys.
You have a lot of wisdom. And we want to take as much as possible, bro.
Makes it
Seriously.
sound like I'm old.
Nah, dude. You can be young and have wisdom, dude. I have wisdom, brother. I just, but I'm telling you, listen, dude. Every time I've sat with you in LabWorks when we very first started getting together, up until now, I have taken something away from our conversation. There's not been one time where I have sat with you. I'm dead serious about that.
Man.
I'm not kidding. I listen very closely to what you say, and I try and apply. I try to implement the things that you tell me as I move forward with business and as I move forward just in general too. Because absolutely, brother, and that's the truth, dude. Bender says, Eddie, I call that multitasking. That's what I got to do every day. Best to break every job down into sections and work on it. That way, then you don't get so flustered. That's kind of the way you do it when you're working by yourself or talk. And that is kind of what you're forced to do. Is in building some of these things and some of these events that I'm doing with kids. Sometimes that's so hard, and I can't imagine what it is like in the company that you got running, as many trucks as you're running too, from what I remember you saying. DZNet says, I love your music, but this conversation is about stuff I've been thinking about too, goes beyond coincidence that I'm listening tonight. Dude, DZNuts, bro, for sure, man. Appreciate that, bro. Like, we're human. We're all human. We're in this experience together, dude, and we're talking about this. Ari's a regular guest on the show, and we talk about this kind of stuff every time he's on. So we invite you to come on back and make sure you guys engage and participate. And if you guys have any feedback, if you guys hear what we're saying, and you guys have some stuff you guys want to shout out there, like I appreciate that, Bender. I appreciate that. These nights, you guys just throw it out there. I'm just gonna call you D's, by the way, so I don't have to keep saying that. YouTube's gonna be like, YouTube's gonna be like, what the fuck's this guy doing over here?
Right? Yeah.
But nah, man. I mean, I think, and also to what you're saying, Ari is also a marketing consultant and business consultant, you guys. And if you guys ever have any questions for Ari, you guys can always reach out here at the listening room live at gmail.com or to Ari directly. You guys can they follow LabWorks on Instagram?
Absolutely. LabWorks_print shop.
LabWorks_print shop on Instagram. Go ahead and hit Ari up anytime, and he's always available for consulting services as well, and marketing consultations as well. He can really help you guys get your business off the ground. I've seen him help many businesses in the area. So yeah, don't Dan, I got you, bro. So don't hesitate to is it Dan Grimshaw? But don't hesitate to hit Ari up for some business and for some knowledge, you guys. Absolutely. And I'll try to stay away from the word wisdom, because I don't want to feel old either.
Knowledge.
I had to shave my gray beard. I'm not even 40 yet. But I'm coming up on it quick, though.
Ain't nothing but a number, buddy. It's nothing but a number.
I know.
Okay.
I know, bro. I know. So yeah, man. So balancing that out is something I'm just gonna have to work on. Balancing that out, finding the balance of marketing and really too. I've been very tunnel visioned about certain things, too, in business. What I tend to do is I tend to go, okay, well, I got to develop this thing, and then whatever obstacles or whatever things come along the way, I take care of them. Yep. But what I don't tend to do is look at something like this, almost like a movie, where I'm going to pre-produce it, where I'm going to write it out, and like you said, map it out, and then take step by step. And like you said, it may not be perfect, but you're going to hit this thing, then they're gonna hit that thing, they're gonna hit this thing, you're gonna hit that thing, and you'll develop and cultivate along the way the better route, the better path. You'll find a rhythm in certain things. Oh, this really worked for me. Let's add this again on the map down the line. This will boost, whatever that, whatever
Dude,
it is.
you know what, man? I think you already have balance. You just don't want to do some of those things.
Dude, I'm totally fine with it, bro. I'm cool
Get
with.
someone else to do it, man.
You know what though?
Delegate.
I'll be honest with you, dude. Here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. What I on like this, I love this. I love engaging with you guys on YouTube. I love videos, music. But what I don't like, Ari, and I feel is contrived, and I feel is, I don't know, dude. I feel it's just not. I don't know. I feel like it's pushed. Is social media in general. I don't feel like it's, and I feel like I use it mainly as a tool for promoting my music or my movies. But I very rarely use it to connect with those I love the most, because I talk to those I love the most. I don't go on, and so me saying that I mean, I only say that to say this, that I find it the same way when I'm trying to, promote an event. I'm like kind of just, God, I feel like I'm spamming people's feeds. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't like it, dude. Like, so maybe you're right. Maybe I do need to just put someone else in charge of that because of my own mental blocks around social media. Because it's not, I need to stop looking at it that way. And until I can, I need to just totally separate myself from it, put someone else in charge and say, here's the plan, go to town with the social media marketing, and let's rock it. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, so you said spamming, like when your version of spamming right now wasn't about spamming because you're promoting. It's about consistent messaging.
yeah,
And
consistent messaging.
I know the difference between spamming and consistent messaging, but what you're doing is consistently messaging to inform, to make sure that you engage the consumer demographic that would be interested or that would open their eyes to it.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's like I said,
Yeah.
and again, it's gonna go back to the personal blocks that I had with asking people to get involved with the development of some of these events. It's gonna go back to the personal blocks that I'm having with this particular, block, and dude, yeah. So it's business can always run flawlessly if you can get out of your own way and let
It's
it
never flawless.
do its thing. Well, not flawless,
it looks
but
flawless on the top. It's kind of like,
I guess I'm just in my own way all the time. I just need to get the hell out of my own way.
Like you see an iceberg that's popping up out of the ocean that's super ultra beautiful.
Right.
Then you look down
And it's like-
just humongous. Like business is never, it's never easy. It's never a walk in the park. It's a grind. There's always something going wrong. The question is how quick you're going to adjust to fix
Seriously.
it, or how you're going to adjust the business model. I mean, there's money, lots of money now, then there's no money. And then, dude, it's a challenge. It's a game to kind of figure it out. But
I love
dude,
it.
we're on this earth for so long. Like how much longer are we going to be on this earth, right? Like, let's enjoy the time we're here, man. Like, stress, take it out the door. It's like,
I love that.
screw it, man. Like, whatever. You don't get it done, you don't get it done. Doesn't happen, doesn't happen.
All right, so let's so
Next round.
So moving on to that. How best do you find to let it go? To let the stress go? What do you do? What can other people do that you do? Because I know not everyone surfs.
No. I think everyone needs to find their outlet. They need to be able to disconnect. They have to disconnect from what they're doing to make sure they can clear their mind. So when they come back to whatever they were doing or they had the issue, they're not so, let's call it, so pinholed in this hole of being able to figure something out. Does that make sense? It's basically, it's like when you have a problem and you need to go cool off, then when you come back and cool off, you see it completely different. It's the same thing in business. When you have an issue, you disconnect from it, or you don't think about it. Then when you come back, your perspective coming back is completely different, and it's probably because you got the adrenaline running and the more in your brain, and it's just cycling, and you need to stop it, go do something else, and come back. I'm the jack of all trades, masters of none. Man. Like, I got a hobby for every season. I got no problem disconnecting. Oh, what do you mean? I'm just gonna go surf. Oh, I'm gonna go fish. I'm gonna go head out. I'm gonna go on a bike. Dude, I have no problem in finding something to do to disconnect, but then come back. you come back twice as motivated, twice as charged, and with a clearer mind.
I love it, dude.
You know?
Dude, I'm the same way, except here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing. Well, I'll tell you, bro. If I find something, that I like one wheeling, bro, I have to like rein in the obsession of how
Okay.
much I enjoy the
There's
fun
nothing
thing.
wrong with that, man.
Dude.
That's your grind, man. There's nothing wrong with that, and especially if you have passion for it. Like, you know, that's your.
Bro, when I first got on one of those things, I was riding
Yeah.
at 30 to 50 miles a day.
That's crazy.
And it would only go 7 miles at a time. I would come home, charge it. It took 20 minutes to charge. I'd ride 20 miles an hour. So I'd ride the 7 miles out as fast as I could, and I'd charge it and then ride the 7 miles out. A friend of mine had it too. And so we would just go out. We would do this until like 2 a.m.
That's awesome.
And we
Those are
rode
the
these
good old
things.
days, man.
Yeah, man, I'm not even playing, dude. Like,
Yeah.
but I that's the thing too. Like, I gotta find some moderation there too, because I'll get away from the things that I need to do and start doing the things that I'm like really enjoying and being like, oh shit, I need to go back to the.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's like I find I'm like a giant ship that once you like correct its course a little bit, it's like really going that way, and you're like, holy shit, like I gotta like kind of. I gotta really pull it back, you
That's
know.
everybody. And sometimes
No
it takes,
power steering there, you know.
and sometimes too, admittedly, it takes longer to get back at it. But it seems like when you do finally like, fuck it, I'm getting back at it.
Yeah.
You're fucking gone and you're going and you're
Doing
just,
it.
like you're figuring it out, you know.
Hell yeah, dude. That's cool, man. You guys, Bender and Deez are on Dan are on one. I guess they met gaming at a certain time before. You guys used to game together. Didn't even realize it. That's cool. Bender says, when I get frustrated with a job, I sing about the job, and then I usually blurt out some words that are the answer to my problem. He said I'm a little bit of a nut bar, yes.
Yeah, no, man, that's your release, bro.
That's pretty funny,
Everybody's
dude.
release is different.
Dude, I used to longboard. I used to downhill longboard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, I used to do that. And that, bro, like, eating it once or twice doing that, and you're just like, dude.
Skid gloves and the
Oh,
pucks.
bro, dude.
Yeah, I was.
You eat it a couple times. No, dude, I would go. So so a group of my friends. Actually, I don't have one of the boards in here right now. Actually, it is. It's behind the curtain up there. But there's a group of my friends who used to own a skateboarding company called Casualty Skateboards, Casualty Longboards, right here. I mean, they're right around the corner. And we would all go to like, you know, I mean, I'm not no pads. We go to like Signal Hill and not go down Hill Street,
hill, dude.
not go down Hill Street,
Oh,
but we
man.
would start up on the back side of the hill and come back down and then make a left down onto Temple.
Yeah.
And go down towards that KFC right there, and then come into the KFC parking lot, and we would do that, and then we would do like what are they called? Parking structures. We would go to parking structures when they were closed at night, and just go up to the top. And a lot of them, like, still the elevators still ran. Like
nice.
the Bally's at the traffic circle.
Traffic circle, yeah,
dude. They used to have theirs was like 4 or 5 stories, and it used to they didn't turn the elevator off at night. But the gates would stay closed. You couldn't to pull your car in there after a certain time. So we would go just park our cars right outside, jump on the elevator at the top. We'd take our pork rinds and our snacks up there, and we'd just roll down. I used to love longboarding, dude. Like, oh my god, I couldn't deal with surfing though, dude. The cold water is just too much for me,
The
bro.
company I worked for ProTech.
Oh, ProTech, dude, for sure.
So,
Helmets, dude. Like,
one of the brands that Vans own, I was able to lead.
Vans owns ProTech.
It did before they sold it. So
Interesting.
I was also the brand manager for ProTech, so we were working with the Madrid guys and the Loaded Skateboard guys and really developing like those pucks with the fingers.
Oh, no shit.
And the finger and the metal sliders.
Yeah.
But we were taking less bulky gloves and using more like mountain bike riding gloves.
That's cool.
We had downhill helmets, with like super aerodynamic without any lips and stuff.
Mhm.
Super lighter. Yeah, pads.
Dude, that's crazy,
we were
dude.
doing a lot. We did a collab with back in the days Madrid. So Jerry Madrid and the whole crew there. So we good to see those guys are still around. Also talk to those guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but
That's
I remember
rad,
those
dude.
guys were gnarly, dude. Those guys are coming down those turns, man, just coming in hot, just
Dude, I've seen so I'm sponsored by a company on Instagram. I'm not. They're on social media. They're a surf company from San Diego called Broaden Surf Co.
Oh yeah.
And so they send me gear all the time. Wonderful company. Shout out to Broaden. You guys are awesome. I often wear their gear on the show here actually, but I actually forgot what I was gonna say. Actually, I was gonna
Downhill and
yes,
yeah.
dude. Like one of the guys they sponsor is a downhill rider from Spain,
Yeah.
and the dude is constantly. I follow him on IG too, and dude, I see him doing every time I see his videos. Like I get like fully nervous, dude.
Yeah.
Like full on nervous. Like I'm like, bro, you're dude. How are you? These guys, how fast are these dudes going? 45, 65. I mean, they're passing traffic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On
No,
these
I've seen it.
longboards, you know, it's just, dude,
Seen
it
it
blows my mind.
I seen this video of the Madrid crew going to like the Philippines, and they're just blazing through towns, dude, and just getting sideways, splitting
Yeah.
lanes like motorcycles. I'm like, dude, these dudes are gnarly.
Crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Let's check some of that out the next time.
Yeah,
the next time you're on
sure.
here, dude. Well, see if we can get Broaden on and do a little chat with them too.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Cool, man. Well, look, next week you're gonna come on. You're gonna bring somebody on for me.
Yeah.
Bring a guest on
Yeah,
for
I
me.
can bring a guest.
Sounds good, man. We'll get Ari on and another guest next week. Bender, Dan, you guys are awesome. Love to see all you guys today. Thank you guys for joining us today in the listening room. We're going to go ahead and head out of here, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 6:30, you guys. Thanks so much to my guest, Mr. Ari Pay. Thanks to you guys for joining us tonight. And remember, guys, good things happen when you take the time to listen. My name is Eddie Booze, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night in the listening room. Take care, guys. Thanks for being a part of the listening room tonight. My name is Eddie Booze. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, and give the video a like. We'll see you guys every Monday through Friday right here at 6:30. Take care.